What if I told you that some of the most dangerous deals in history were made in secret? Deals that involved everything from nuclear secrets to human organs. Things you'd never expect to find on the black market. Can you imagine how these illegal deals shaped our world? How they impacted governments, economies, and even the course of wars? Today, we're diving into the shocking stories of the most infamous black market deals in history. From blood diamonds fueling wars to nuclear technology threatening global peace. These untold stories will leave you questioning everything. Stick around as we uncover how these dark dealings changed the world forever. Nuclear secrets, the deal that could have changed the world. Let's start with one of the most dangerous black market deals of the 20th century. Nuclear secrets. In the 1970s, a Pakistani scientist named Dr. A.Q. Khan started a secretive journey that would shake the global balance of power. Khan was a brilliant scientist, but what set him apart wasn't his skills, it was his ambition. Working for a European company in the Netherlands, he gained access to highly classified nuclear information. But after returning to Pakistan in 1976, his knowledge grew, and so did his desire to make an impact on the world. Fast forward to 1980, and Khan began selling nuclear secrets to countries like Libya, Iran, and North Korea, all of which were hungry for nuclear weapons. Now imagine this, a black market for nuclear materials and equipment began to thrive. Khan's network made it possible for these countries to build nuclear weapons secretly, without being caught. The whole world had no idea this was happening until 2004, when Khan was caught and confessed to what he had been doing for decades. This wasn't just about selling technology. It was about selling the future of nuclear warfare. Khan's actions nearly flipped the world's nuclear balance on its head, putting unstable regimes in control of weapons of mass destruction. Even though Khan was arrested, the damage had been done, and the black market for nuclear materials still lurks in the shadows, posing a global threat. Iran-Contra affair, a cover-up that shook the world. Next up is a scandal that rocked U.S. politics in the 1980s, the Iran-Contra affair. This wasn't just a black market deal. It was a full-blown political conspiracy that involved illegal arms sales, international intrigue, and serious violations of U.S. laws. At the heart of it all was a secret decision by the U.S. government to sell weapons to Iran, despite the country being under an arms embargo. The Reagan administration orchestrated the deal, with key figures like Oliver North playing a major role. Iran, locked in a war with Iraq, desperately needed arms, but the U.S. couldn't legally provide them. So, a secret black market deal was made, bypassing the embargo. But that's not all. The profits from these arms sales were funneled to fund the Contras, a Nicaraguan rebel group fighting against the left-wing Sandinista government, which was backed by the Soviet Union. This was a direct violation of the Boland Amendment, which prohibited U.S. funding for the Contras. By 1986, the scandal started to unravel when a cargo plane carrying arms was shot down in Nicaragua, and investigations began. The public was shocked when the story came to light. Despite indictments and some convictions, many of the key players received pardons, and the scandal eventually faded from the headlines. But the Iran-Contra affair remains one of the most infamous black market deals in history, revealing corruption at the highest levels of government and showing how far some were willing to go to fund a foreign conflict. The shocking world of human organ trafficking. Now let's talk about one of the most morally bankrupt black market industries, human organ trafficking. This illicit trade involves the exploitation of vulnerable individuals, often from impoverished backgrounds, who are either coerced or tricked into selling their organs, like kidneys, livers, and corneas. These organs are then sold to wealthy buyers desperate for life-saving transplants. This black market has been running for decades, with India, China, and Pakistan serving as major hotspots where the trade thrives. The scale of the problem grew rapidly in the 1990s as demand for organ transplants surged and the global shortage of available organs became more apparent. Criminal syndicates, working with corrupt doctors, hospital staff, and middlemen, created complex networks that spanned the globe. They profited from the misery of others, with the donors receiving only a small fraction or sometimes nothing at all, while the organs could be sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the most infamous cases happened in 2007 in India, where a massive organ trafficking ring was exposed. Hospitals, surgeons, and middlemen were arrested for conducting illegal transplants, and poor individuals were coerced into donating their kidneys under false promises of financial compensation. These organs were then sold to wealthy foreigners, primarily from the Middle East. Despite efforts from governments and international organizations to crack down on this trade, it remains an active and dangerous industry that continues to exploit the desperate and the vulnerable. Blood diamonds, a glittering source of violence. During the 1990s, the world became horrified by the trade in blood diamonds. Diamonds mined under brutal conditions that funded violent conflicts and wars in countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, and other parts of West Africa. Warlords and rebel groups controlled the mines, forcing workers into slave-like conditions to extract these precious stones. These diamonds were sold to fund arms, which prolonged civil wars, terrorized civilians, and created unspeakable violence. The term blood diamonds became infamous as the world realized that diamonds, once symbols of wealth and luxury, were now tied to human suffering. In Sierra Leone, the Revolutionary United Front, RUF, used diamond profits to purchase weapons and wage war, committing atrocities and prolonging a brutal civil war. These diamonds were smuggled out of Africa and sold on the international market, often through intermediaries who laundered the diamond's origins. By 2000, the world was outraged by the blood diamond trade, leading to the Kimberley process, a certification system designed to prevent conflict diamonds from entering the global market. But even with these efforts, illegal diamonds continued to find their way through loopholes and corrupt officials, proving how difficult it is to stop such a profitable trade. The blood diamond deal remains one of the darkest chapters in the world of black market trading, showing how greed and violence can be hidden beneath the shine of a jewel. Even though there are initiatives to stop this, the shadow of blood diamonds still hangs over the jewelry industry. Opium trade in the Golden Triangle. Finally, let's talk about the opium trade in Southeast Asia, specifically in the Golden Triangle, an area where Myanmar, Thailand, and Laos meet. For decades, this region was the world's largest producer of opium, fueling addiction and organized crime. The illegal drug trade became a billion-dollar business, controlled by powerful criminal syndicates and warlords. The profits from the opium trade not only funded organized crime, but also violent insurgencies, as rebel groups used the money to fund wars in the region. In the 1970s, the CIA even had ties to the opium trade as part of their efforts to fund anti-communist forces in Southeast Asia. This involvement only helped fuel the growth of the black market for opium and its transformation into a global problem. Despite efforts by governments to eradicate opium production, the trade continued to thrive, contributing to the addiction of millions and the destabilization of countries in the region. The Golden Triangle remains a dark chapter in the history of a global black market, a place where drugs and violence created an empire of crime that still impacts the world today. So, there you have it, some of the most infamous black market deals in history, from nuclear secrets to human organs. These deals have shaped the world we live in today, and their impact is still being felt. If you're fascinated by these dark underworld stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on more shocking tales from the hidden side of history. Make sure to hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one, where we'll uncover even more jaw-dropping truths about the world of crime. Stay tuned.